So let's first talk about this latest. I feel like I've been through 3 uncarrier plans with you. So this latest one, we're basically, you're saying, look, it's a flat fee, all in, taxes, fees, $40 for each member of a family of 4, $70 for an individual. I look at that and I say that sounds like a very attractive deal, but you're going to eat it on the costs, on your margins.
Right. Well, you know, Betty, you know why it seems like you've seen so many uncarrier moves is because today was the 4-year anniversary of when we announced uncarrier, and we've done 12 moves before. As you said, amongst other things, I did announce today that we added 2.1 million customers and 1.2 million postpaid, 933,000 postpaid phones and 541,000. So it's working and it's going very well. What we called Uncarrier Next is part of what I called the mobile internet needing new rules. And the biggest one is what you see is what you pay. So we are the first carrier on the postpaid side to go all in taxes and fees. And the reason that sounds great to you is that there are $17 billion worth of taxes and fees added on top. Verizon's XSL plan, which is $110 a month, costs $210 a month. So we're going to have family of 4, $40 a line,
John,
all in, period. That's the whole deal.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, and of course, you know, that sounds like a great deal for any consumer, but I'm curious because I imagine, you know, the margins that you're going to have to eat, that it's going to eat into these margins if you bring in all these costs under one flat fee. How do you protect your margins then with a deal like that?
Well, and there's a lot of discussion we're having today with the market, and I'm not going to give guidance for next year, but I would tell you that my expectations of average revenue per user are, I would call, flat-ish. So it's actually not going to be that kind of an impact to us. And remember that in the last 4 quarters, T-Mobile is the only carrier whose service revenues are growing. We grew 13% in the last trailing 4 quarters. We haven't given output for the fourth quarter yet, but we're growing, and this is a plan that we believe will be very positive, not just for customers, but also for shareholders.
And do you think it's one that your rivals are absolutely not going to be able to mirror? Because I remember last time you came out with your announcement, the other carriers came out with the same as well.
Well, okay. Also remember that every uncarrier move is 2 things. It's permanent, and it's expected to drive industry change. We also announced the uncontract for unlimited plans today for T-Mobile One, which is we guaranteed we will never raise your price. So the issue for the Dumb, Dumber, and Yellow is that they're benefiting from these $17 billion worth of fees. So let's see, I hope they follow, because it'd be great for American consumers in the wireless world.
And John, I know, you know, as you were presenting your latest uncarrier program, you also gave some of your predictions for this year, some very bold prediction. One of those that really stood out to me, you know, we've interviewed Charlie Ergen over at Dish, is you said this year that Dish is the end, that this is the end of Dish. Yep. Bye-bye, Charlie.
I saw Charlie actually yesterday, and I told him congratulations on one of the announcements he made this week, which I thought was quite innovative for helping people cut the cord. And then I told him, by the way, you might want to come to my event today because I'm going to declare you dead. And I think it's most of my...
To which he said what?
He said, what time is it? You know, the issue is, Betty, a lot of these statements I made, you have to look past the headline. Like, clearly, this is a year of dramatic change in industry structure, and I do strongly believe that Dish's capabilities will persist, but something's going to happen with them. Same thing, I announced that I predict that the cable players will fail miserably as MVNOs and have to reconsider that. And we had a bunch of fun predictions, and, you know, I stand by them.
Including also that Google is going to get as well into the wireless world. But I want to mention one that people keep predicting, that you keep having to swat away, which is a merger between T-Mobile and Sprint. And you seem to hint, John, earlier to reporters that you think that this might go through, that this may actually happen. And I don't want to put words in your mouth, particularly with a new president in the White House.
Yeah, and I, again, in order for something to go through, it has to exist. And I certainly would never comment on the existence of something, especially that we're in a quiet period during an auction.
Sure.
What I've been clear about all along is that the structure, especially around the mobile internet, is going to bring together multiple players, either vertically or horizontally, to serve customers. And yes, of course, you know, the scale provided by Sprint and T-Mobile potentially being together is something that's long been considered. And I do believe under a Trump administration, there will be a different level of regulatory scrutiny and possibly industry structure or consolidation tolerance. So I think it's going to be a fascinating year, but a great year to be a healthy, vibrant, growing brand, and then decide what's the best way to serve your shareholders and customers.
You know, and John, before we go, speaking about the president, you've traded barbs with Donald Trump. I know on Twitter, the two of you went at it a couple of years ago over, I think it was Ronda Rousey, of all things. And then he tweeted back at you that he thought your service was terrible. I believe you've since made up, possibly, but I'm curious if you're worried at all that some of the barbs that you both traded in the past may affect you going forward, because now he's in the White House.
Yeah, no, and as you say, it was a long time ago, and only because we're both very prevalent on social media. Before social media was, you know, one of the tools that's so dominantly used. He's very aggressive and outspoken on social media, and so am I. We had a little exchange, but that is, you know, that's a long time ago. I actually think I understand his Twitter use because it's very similar to being the groundbreaking kind of tool that I use. And I can tell you one thing, the guy's got Twitter game. And he has, he's left me in the Twitter dust. So, no, we certainly very supportive of everything he's doing and have no animosity or any leftover Twitter remnancy.
And have you spoken to him personally?
I have not. I would expect to, you know, at some time soon, because there's a, you know, again, I'm feeling very good about where the economy is going, what the regulatory position is, and I'm planning on driving my company in 2017 to a significant era of growth, which I think is totally in line with what he's trying to do in the United States.